A man wants a selfie with a lion. It does not end well. Imagine standing face to face with a 400-pound male lion. You lift your phone for a selfie, and in less than 3 seconds, you're fighting for your life. This is not a movie. This is not fiction. This is a true horror story. It was September 23rd at the Delhi National Zoological Park. What started as an ordinary day for hundreds of visitors turned into a horror show. A man made an unthinkable decision to climb into the lion's enclosure. The consequences were horrific, and he did not survive. Delhi Zoo is a sprawling 176-acre facility in India. It had never seen such a terrifying lion attack before. The safety measures in place were rigorous: towering barriers, deep moats, security guards, and constant surveillance. But no system is foolproof, and this was the case in this instance. It was no match for a man who was driven by determination and desperation. Mr. Mauled Singh was a 30-year-old man who was struggling with personal issues. He was in a job in a factory that only paid him a low salary of just $144 a month. His father was disabled, so he was the family's sole financial supporter. The family consisted of his parents and younger sister and himself. They all lived in a cramped one-room apartment, and life was beginning to wear him down. Recently, his behavior had become erratic. He obsessed over wildlife documentaries and showed signs of deepening instability. On that fateful Tuesday morning, he left home as usual, and the family assumed he was heading to work as he always did. But Mr. Singh never turned up there. It was later established that he spent the morning wandering around the town. After a few hours, he bought a ticket to the zoo. That afternoon, the zoo was busy as hundreds of visitors were there to enjoy looking at all the animals. A school group had gathered at the lion enclosure, with the excited children gathering around the secure viewing area. There were lots of other tourists there too, excited for a glimpse of these wild animals. But what they then saw was a true horror story that unfolded right in front of them. Mr. Singh was calmly removing his shoes and placed them neatly on the ground. Only a few of the visitors even noticed what he was doing at first. But when he started to climb the first barrier to the enclosure, people became alarmed. Some of them shouted at him to stop. The security guards ran towards him, blowing their whistles to get his attention. But he just calmly ignored them all, and by now he was methodically making his way past the second fence. Even at this point, he was still safe, because there was a deep 18-foot moat that protected him from the lions. But then came the moment that sealed his fate. When he jumped into the moat, this is when the lion took notice. This was 8-year-old Cher, and it had been transferred to the zoo from South Africa for the breeding program. This predator had spent years adapting to zoo life, but its natural instincts could never fade. At first, he lay still, watching the man make his journey into the enclosure. But then the lion's ears flattened and his tail dropped into a hunting position. This was a warning sign of a lion preparing to strike at its prey. But Mr. Singh was unaware of the danger as he took out his phone. He wanted a selfie with the animal, and this was all that he was focused on. The lion then moved at lightning speed, covering nearly 100 feet in under 3 seconds. The impact was devastating for the man as he was knocked over. The crowd of people screamed in horror. The group of school children were rushed away from the scene. Some of the adults were also hysterical and could do nothing to help. But others began to throw bottles, shoes, and anything they could find to distract the lion, but nothing could stop what happened next. The animal raised its paw and slammed it down right onto his body as the claws ripped into the flesh of Mr. Singh. And once he was helpless on the ground, the lion bit into his neck and snapped it instantly. The lion then proceeded to drag his lifeless body towards its den. As all this was happening, chaos erupted around the enclosure. Security guards had arrived within minutes, but it was too late. The zoo's chief veterinarian led a high-risk operation to sedate the lion. It took 90 minutes and 2 precision-measured darts of ketamine and xylazine to put the lion under. Only then could authorities retrieve what remained of Mr. Singh. In the days that followed, debates raged. Some blamed the zoo's security, demanding higher barriers and stricter enforcement. Others pointed out that Mr. Singh was determined to get to the lion, and it did not matter how many barriers there were, he would still have got to the lion. His mental state was the cause of his actions, as he seemed to have been suffering some kind of breakdown. The lion involved was not harmed by the authorities, as it was accepted not to be his fault. But the lion's enclosure was fitted with extra security to stop the incident from ever happening again. If you found this story intriguing and shocking, and want to see others, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe.